Welcome to another episode of Maz Play. This is MazMojito, and today we're going to be getting into a game that I've played before, but unfortunately lost my save file and have to start all over. Today we're going to be playing Greedfall. Now, Greedfall is a traditional role-playing game. You're going to have a lot of cutscenes with conversation just to develop the story, but you also have some fighting mixed in. And class choosing, melee, ranged, magical, all the traditional aspects you would see in a role-playing game. So we're gonna go into the start of the game and kick off with the character design and creation, which is mixed in with the story here. So I'll be silent because a lot of talking in this game.
Could you stand a little taller, just a tad?
So I don't have to talk
Like
too
this.
much.
Yes. The chin a tiny bit lower. Gaze a little more to the right. There. Now, hold the pose.
Okay, so here's our opportunity to get a chance to design the main character, Desarde. He can be male or female, depending on your preference. All the character models have that little birthmark, curse, whatever that is, that scar on the left cheek. I think it has to do with the plague that's going around. This is supposed to be kind of a medieval time-ish type time frame, judging by the clothes, the three-point hats, corner hats and everything. And apparently your character is of some form of aristocrat leadership for the land that you're on, because you're pretty much treated like royalty or an aristocrat. So as I go through picking what my character is going to look like, we'll let the game play out and you will see some of the conversation and some of the backstory as the conversations go forward. So once again, I will limit how much I have to say unless there are key points I want to make. But for the most part, we're going to go through and just follow along with the storyline. Okay, so here's where I was talking about your traditional classes come into play. You have warrior for melee, technical for more of a rogue range type approach, with crowd control mixed in there, and then you have magic for your traditional element-based magic. There could be some crowd control in there as well, but they use a lot of different terms like science and intuition as far as your talent tree versus mana and whatnot. But you can kind of see the attributes: willpower, mental power for your magic class, It's going to be more agility, accuracy, that whatnot for your technical class, and then warrior is pretty much going to be other recommended attributes that you should put talent points into strength and endurance, as you can see on the screen. The first time I played this, I chose the magic class just because I do like ranged magical attacks, but I think this time I'm gonna pick a different class to play with, because it's been a while since I played this game and the combat can be a bit challenging. So I'm going to either pick warrior or technical. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the warrior tree, and as you can see, you can unlock things as you get more talent points. You can either go the mental power route, strength route, and each of those different trees are better for depending on what kind of class you pick. Obviously, the top two trees are great for your warrior class. The middle trees are great for your rogue kind of range class, your technical class, as they call it in the game. And then the bottom one is really good for your magic class. The bottom two skill trees, or talent trees, I should say. So right now we're gonna do the warrior class. I believe you can switch classes during the game. I just can't remember. It's been a very long time since I played this. And of note, they are working on a part 2 for this game, so it's really good that we do kind of a catch up to remember how Greedfall 1 was, and hopefully we can play this enough to beat the actual story. So just showing off all the different talent skill trees that you can follow, and as you play and level up, obviously you will get talent points to pick and choose where you're going to spend them at, like most common role-playing games, in some cases survival games and whatnot.
Just a few more minutes. You have such an incredibly singular face. That's a compliment, my lord, out of my mouth. Your particularity gives you character.
You're still here?
We've nearly finished. Have you any more need of me, Master?
You haven't forgotten that we're setting sail today, have you?
Of course not.
Your cousin is nowhere to be found. I've searched the palace from cellars to attics. Your uncle is beside himself.
He was of a mind to paint the town last night. Don't worry, I shall track him down. Make care to your own preparations without wrinkling another frown. We'll meet you on the boat.
It's about time your cousin took account of the responsibilities awaiting him. He should go and inform the ambassadors of Telemi and the Bridge Alliance of his departure.
Have no fear, Master. I will go and see them in his name. I beg your pardon, but urgent matters call me away. Might we finish all this later?
Impossible, my lord. You are leaving with the tide, if what I've been told is correct.
I am sorry, sir. Truly, I must be going.
My lord, please, I beg you. Her Highness has personally requested I finish it.
Thank you, cousin, for getting me out of that.
Okay, so as I mentioned before, there's a lot of dialogue in this game, so we're going to kind of speed up any kind of travel on foot
Green blood.
until we get to the cutscenes. We're actually doing some talking, kind of like here where he's going to train with his weapons master. Now this is kind of like the tutorial that shows you how to fight, do combat in the game, so
With the cold
we'll play along and see how the tutorial, how the combat works.
Hiding your men in the unsuspecting shadows of the greats of this world, I see.
Hey, our blades are the only thing keeping you dainties alive.
Kurt, I'm not in need of your protection. I'm no longer a child, you know.
Is that so? Well, let's see. Fight with honor!
Okay, so there's no real benefit to beating Kurt.
What a green blood. Me who thought myself a competent weapons master.
It's becoming a little hard to believe.
Don't add insult to injury. This is humiliating enough. We'll need to get you through the basics, or you risk getting your feathers plucked at the first sign of trouble.
That could definitely come.
So if you beat Kurt, it will pretty much skip a lot of this stuff, but I can't remember if you're going to get this anyway, but because this is all part of the tutorial for how to do combat in the game, I think Kurt may just say something slightly different to you other than boast that he kicked your butt, but I think you still will end up doing these additional tutorials because you have to learn all the different combat mechanics here. So we'll press on with the tutorial so you can see all the different things you can do, to include shooting people with flintlocks.
Come on, let's see what you're capable of.
It appears we've brushed up on the basics.
It does, and I'd like to be on my way. I've quite the list of things to do before we depart.
Indeed. Remember that you can always train in our barracks on the island if you're feeling rusty.
Are your bags packed for the great departure?
Yes, you know I get by with very little. You're not angry that I'm coming with you, I hope.
On the contrary, I'm thrilled that both you and Sir de Corsillon are joining our party. A few friends at your side in unknown territory is a boon.
Ah, so the old goat is coming too. And there I was thinking I would die of boredom on the trip. By the way, where is our future governor hiding? I was hoping to put his skills to the test as well.
I have no idea. He had plans to celebrate his departure last night, and we haven't seen him since. You know Constantine. I should have gone with him, but my heart wasn't in the mood for celebration. The thought of bidding my mother farewell.
It is never easy to say goodbye. But you should be going to see her now. She must be waiting for you. I'll meet you in front of the palace. Then we'll go and find Constantine together.
Very well. I'll meet you as soon as I've said my goodbyes.
What is this? Have you not been taught to knock? I've asked 1,000 times. Oh, it's you, my dear child.
Mother, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble getting used to your condition.
Come now, let's speak of more pleasant things. I'm so very happy to hear your voice.
Not quite sure what's wrong with Desarde's mother,
Father.
but obviously she has some kind of, whatever the plague is that's going around, she has a case of it, a bad case of it.
Ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about.
Yes, but the idea of leaving you behind, alone and ill.
Dying, my child. Alas, there is nothing you can do by staying that would ease my suffering.
So as you can see, they're all part of the aristocrats.
They say the island is full of miracles.
Even the mother is treated with respect.
Even if I were to find it, I would never be able to return in time to...
I know. But it brings me comfort to know my son has left on a mission to heal his people.
Notice she said son. If you picked a daughter, I mean, obviously she would have said daughter if you picked a female character.
Take this with you.
What is it?
A family heirloom. Something that... Take it and keep it with you. May it bring you good luck. All my blessings go with you, my child. Now, be off.
Obviously, the disease took her sight too, because she got some serious cataract going on where she can't even see who's in front of her. But she knew that was her kid, so now you see Desarde's mother situation, and obviously the mother believes that there's stuff on the island that could probably help stop that plague that's going on in the town, but I guess more to come as you go through the story, and you'll kind of learn more of what the secrets are on that island that he's going to be traveling to. So here we're going to talk to Kurt and continue the missions of finding your cousin.
We can see the masts of the ship that'll be taking us. This is one sacred
And going to talk to the embassies on behalf of your cousin, since he's not there to do
In order
it.
to know that, we'll need to find Constantine first.
You're right. Maybe he's already at the port. He was so eager to leave.
This will be
So
quite the chore
there's going to be a lot of dialogue in this game. So I'm going to limit my conversation to just key points, as I said earlier.
But the transporter doesn't want to deliver. I did all I could to persuade. Nothing came of it. All the parliamenting fatigues me. But this is your domain. I wouldn't say no to a little help.
Of course. Where is the supplier?
In the lower boroughs, near the port.
Right then. We'll put it on our list of visits.
Okay, so here's an idea, or here's the example of the team setup page. Kurt's being your first companion here. As you go through the game, you will meet other unique characters, each with different skills that you can add to your party. I think you can have up to 2 people in your party with you. So Kurt is going to be your very first companion.
Their dwellings are not far from here. We could go there first.
Very well. Do you think Constantine will be waiting for us next to the ship?
I don't know, but it's certainly worthy of inspection. Your Excellency.
Lord de Sade, I have been told that you were named Legate. Congratulations.
So as Legate, he's basically going to be second in charge to his cousin as the governor.
But you will bring honor upon your family and the congregation. Of that, I'm certain.
So this guy he's talking to is an ambassador from another region or country.
My cousin Constantine is about to take up office as governor of New Serene, and I'm accompanying him.
So on behalf of his cousin, he's meeting with the different ambassadors to let them know that they'll be leaving the mainland and going to the island.
Well, then,
So any business they have will have to be done with whoever's left here, or they will have to send ambassadors to the
They
island.
say that it is a marvelous island. Please convey to your cousin my congratulations and sincere wishes for success.
You seem slightly hesitant. Please, tell me what troubles you.
A rather unscrupulous individual has been sowing trouble in Serene. A charlatan passing himself off as an alchemist.
Do people actually give credence to these lies?
Alas, yes. They snatch up his celebrated panacea. Remedies worse than the ill, believe me. As you can well imagine, alchemists are our pride. This vulgar trickster casts dirt upon their reputation and our own at the same time. In any city of the Bridge Alliance, we would have arrested him. But here, we respect your laws.
Could you give me your understanding of the relations between the congregation and the bridge?
Our relations hang essentially on the quality of our trade and commerce. The exchanges are very profitable, especially on the cultural front. I will not hide from you that we have hoped you would join our number for quite some time. But your princes insist on maintaining a neutral stance between the congregation and the other nations on the continent. It is by all means a respectable position, even if it means you also trade with our enemies.
The Bridge Alliance has been on Tearfredi for much longer than we have. What can you tell me?
It is true that we founded Hikmet, our newest city, around 15 years ago now. Alas, I haven't been able to go there myself. I can only tell you what others have reported to me. It is a luxurious island. An enormous dead volcano thrones in its center. The vegetation is extremely varied, and the fauna wondrous. We discovered animals that we had never ever seen before. Some are bigger than houses. But they're not the only occupants of the island. A savage and crude people also live there, who speak an incomprehensible language. But you shall discover all of this for yourself soon enough.
Welcome everyone to another Maz Play Series.
And what of your war with Thélème?
It has been dragging on. In fact, it has been dragging on for years. It is madness. If those bigots hadn't gotten it in their heads to convert the entire continent, we wouldn't be in this situation. But that's the way of the world. We shall not waver, whether here or on Tearfredi.
Have you been fighting battles there as well?
From what I've been told, Thélème has wisely and tastefully built their colony far from our city. Direct conflicts are in fact quite rare. But one day they will inevitably take place.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lord de Sade.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I have come to inform you that my cousin Constantine and I are departing for Tearfredi on the hour.
Ah, yes. I did indeed hear talk that you had both received callings of greater stature. Allow me to congratulate you. Were you not named legate of the congregation?
You are correct, Excellency. I thank you.
It is a station of great honor that I am sure you will fill with brio and panache. The Mother Cardinal Cornelia will be enchanted to work with you, and your cousin in the future. I only regret that your departure is so sudden.
Really?
To be entirely honest with you, I was hoping to solicit your help in a rather delicate matter.
Tell me more about it. And perhaps I can take care of your problem before my departure.
Very well. A small group of dangerous heretics has found refuge in Serene. We know that your uncle tolerates the presence of all pagans within the city walls. But these particular non-believers threaten the fragile harmony of this place.
Welcome everyone.
We would consider it a tremendous favor if you would arrest them and deliver them to our guard.
Heresy is not a crime in Serene. You do know that. But I'm sure my uncle would hear your arguments. Why call on my intervention?
The prince would indeed give us his blessing, but it would take time. Far too much time. For according to our sources, these fugitives have already made contact with a smuggler to take them who knows where.
I see. You're hoping that I'll be able to do something before they make it to an enemy city. If your heretics are planning on boarding a ship, then they must be in the dockyards. I'll look into this and see what I can do. I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade.
Good day, Excellency.
Sir de Sade, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Could you tell me anything about Thélème?
It would be a pleasure. As you already know, our glorious nation is guided by our faith. We follow the teachings of Matthias, our founder and greatest prophet, and give thanks each day to the Luminous for having gifted us magic. The high dignitaries of Thélème are at the same time our spiritual guides, advocates, and grand mages.
I've heard say that dissensions have appeared recently in your nation.
Ah, you must certainly be speaking about the debates that have divided the Ordo Luminous and the more political orders. The Lord Luminous has an extremely pure vision of our faith and applies the words of our saint very strictly. But other, more open-minded factions exist within our nation. They believe that a less rigid dialectic would attract souls more readily to our faith. But their differences are purely theoretical and do not threaten the cohesion of our nation, I assure you.
What's your point of view on the relations between our two nations?
As ambassador of Thélème, I can only rejoice at the mention of our commercial treaties. We appreciate as well the welcome that your uncle gave to our missionaries. Thanks to your support, more and more believers wander your lands. The congregation is our most precious ally. To be perfectly honest, we have only two complaints: that heresy is tolerated, and that your treaties with the Bridge Alliance are maintained.
How is Thélème faring on Tirfredi?
We built a marvelous city, San Matthias, on the western coast of the island. Did you know that certain historians believe that it might well have been the final resting place of our prophet? Our missionaries there are a multitude. Not a day passes without new islanders joining our sacred faith. Of course, there are certain pockets of resistance. There is talk of a demonic cult, disgusting creatures. But I am confident that the Ordo Luminous will be able to put an end to these horrors. And we have tremendous hopes that the entire native population will join our ranks.
How goes the conflict with the Bridge Alliance?
Your territory is, alas, the only one that has been spared from the ravages of war on the continent. We fight on every front, without great success, one must say. But what other choice do we have? These so-called savants not only refuse the light, but are determined in their fight against it.
And on Tirfredi?
To my knowledge, no one has yet seen any serious fighting. The Bridge have succeeded in provoking the natives there, and have their hands full keeping them at bay. Which leaves us greater latitude to settle peacefully and pursue our mission of conversion.
I must be going. Farewell, Excellency.
May the light guide you, de Sade.
Okay, so we completed the mission of talking to the ambassadors, and of course the ambassadors wanted something out of us, given that they gave us missions. So at this point, I think this is going to be a good point where we're going to put a pause or a bookmark into the story, and we're going to come back and continue on with doing the different missions that the ambassadors gave us in the next video. But this kind of gives you a taste of what to expect for the full game. Lots of conversation, lots of talking, lots of mission gaining, lots of choices and decisions on how to respond to people. So more to follow in the next video, and as always, I'd like to thank you for watching my videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.